Still no sign of a deal. I want to bring in Democratic strategist Joy Williams and Leon Wolf, managing editor of The Blaze. Thanks to both of you. We got so little time. I'm going to start with you. Leon, what do you make of this and how does it get fixed?
Well, you know, I think that a lot of the kind of hype about it has been a little bit overblown. I mean, in 2013, a poll showed most people blamed Republicans for the shutdown, but 2014 elections kind of worked out pretty well for them. So I think, you know, one of the things about Trump being president is that we know between now and November, he's going to say or do about 1 million different things that are going to put all this in the rearview mirror, I think, by the time the election rolls around. So I think at the end of the day...
I hate to agree with you, Leon, but you could be right. We could be talking about something else in 8 or 10 days. Let me just bring Joy Williams into this. To Leon's point, for a lot of Americans, this is not earth-shattering. They may not even notice it's happening. But for some Americans, including those who get a paycheck from the federal government, who are not military and are not non-essential workers, this is actually central and very important.
Yeah, my mother being one of them. My mother and 2 of my sisters actually work for the military. My mother is a patient advocate at a military hospital, and they're trying to...
So is that an essential job, a patient
They're
advocate?
still trying to figure that out. Last time in 2013, she wasn't, you know, essential, and she was there like a day,
and
know,
then
out of the week, and then furloughed.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to figure that out. So certainly to them, and they remember it. They remember 2013, and they'll remember this one. But to your point, in terms of moving on to something else, we will, because that's the type of political climate that we're in at this moment. But what will be important is for Democrats and others who are organizing to make sure that people don't forget and put this in this entire context as this, you know, the something new every day. We have to fight for our lives every day. All of this climate is at Trump's feet, is at the Republicans' feet, and as long as we continue to remind people of that, when we come to an election, when we come to the midterm elections, we'll be able to make changes there.
So, Leon, let's just talk about the math on this one. When it comes to the Dreamers, which the Republicans are saying is what is holding this up, the fact is so many Americans overwhelmingly support a path to citizenship for Dreamers, including a lot of conservatives, and it makes sense because a lot of conservatives look at these Dreamers and say, well, that's actually kind of the conservative ethos, right? These are people who work, they don't have misdemeanors, they don't have felonies, they pay taxes, they're either in school or they're working, the kind of immigrants you probably want. How do Republicans not come out on the wrong side of this? How do they end up not looking like the people who let the Dreamers down?
Well, you know, I mean, and I would lump myself into that. I favor some sort of permanent legal status.
Lots
or
do.
9
out of 10 Americans do.
Right, but see, it's a little simplistic to say, listen, so many people support this. What the more important thing is, where does that fall on your priority list? So there are a lot of issues that are 80-20, but people nonetheless don't care much about, or at least outside of certain communities they don't care much about. So yeah, I agree. Kind of the vast majority of America is in that position, but I don't think that's an important enough position. For instance, I saw a poll released Thursday or Friday by one of your competitor networks that said that while people support a DACA, path to citizenship, they don't think it's worth a shutdown.
But remember that while we're here in this situation, this didn't have to be something that we had to discuss right at this moment. It became that way because Trump made it that way, because they changed the rules. And so then
why was Trump allowed to do that?
And then we're now at this space where it is a crisis situation, because you have people very concerned about their immigration status, very concerned about ICE and deportation, and how do we fix that? So it is a crisis situation that was created by this administration.
I got to leave it there, Leon. Unfortunately, I'm out of time, but I'm going to leave on your question because that's a good one. Why was Trump allowed to do this? But unfortunately, I got to pay the bill, so I got to stop the conversation now. Thank you to both of you. I look forward to continuing this conversation, but not while there's a government shutdown, I hope. Joy Williams and Leon Wolf. Stay right here. MSNBC's continuing coverage picks up right after this break.